Okay. Okay. Today we will finish up chapter 3 of Shaar HaBitachon and Chovos Halevavos. And so where we are right now, and we'll summarize at the end, is that he's talking about what should one's attitude be towards work. And so Shaar HaBitachon says that it's actually a mitzvah to work, and you should have in mind when you are working that you are doing the will of Hashem, you're doing a mitzvah. And if you do that, then having bitachon and believing that everything comes from Hashem, and also doing your own hishalus and working is not a contradiction, but they actually go hand in hand together. And so he has one last paragraph here that he says that just to put a wrap in, he says, "V'al yachshov ki tarfo ma'amad ala siba yidua." He says that well, a person is meant to engage in whatever work that they do in order to earn their livelihood. He shouldn't think that his livelihood hinges on any particular avenue, any specific event. V'shem timna hasiba hi mimenu lo yavo b'siba achar. And that if he's deprived of whatever that is, he will not have a different avenue. Aval yiftach ala Elokim betarfo. Rather, one must put their trust in Hashem. V'yeda ki hasibos kulan eitzel habore shavos. And know that all the various avenues by which you can obtain sustenance are the same to Hashem. And Hashem can provide him with what through whatever avenue Hashem wants to, and more through whatever time, and whatever sequence of events. This is referencing the story of Yonatan in Shmuel Aleph, when he went up to a mountain towards the entire Philistine army. In normal situation, they would have no chance of succeeding. But Yonatan encouraged his helper by saying that the numbers make no difference. Nothing prevents Hashem from saving, whether through many, through few. V'amar, and he quotes another pasuk, Ki hu hanosin lecha koach lasus chayil. Hashem who gives you the strength to make your wealth. V'amar lo v'chayav lo b'koach kim beruchi amar Hashem tzvagos. So he's saying that one's efforts, that is true that you have to work, but you have to remember that it's not this specific thing which is going to make sure that you have enough to live. Hashem has decreed that you'll have what you need. And if it's not through this, Hashem has many ways, infinite ways of making sure that whatever it is that is decreed for you ends up in your hands. Okay, so that's the end of chapter 3. Let's just summarize. So chapter 3, we said that in order to have full bitachon, right? How do we get to this place where we have complete bitachon in Hashem? 5 principles. 1, Hashem alone possesses all the qualities that are necessary to deserve one's absolute trust. Meaning, only Hashem makes sense. It only makes sense for you to place your trust in one person, that is God. Number 2, Hashem observes a person and is aware of your innermost thoughts. He knows whether you trust in him or not. He knows whether you're just paying lip service and saying, I have a lot of bitachon, or if you are someone who really does. Number 3, bitachon requires you to place your exclusive trust in Hashem. If you trust Hashem and somebody else, that means you don't really trust Hashem, and it undermines the bitachon. Number 4, that along with having bitachon, you need to actually perform Hashem's will. You need to do mitzvos. You need to avoid sins. To do otherwise is hypocrisy. Number 5 is that Hashem carries out his decrees in the world through a system of cause and effect. And this requires a person to engage in effort, hishtadlus, in order to earn their livelihood. And one must recognize that hishtadlus is a fulfillment of Hashem's will. That Hashem wants man to work for his living, but in terms of the results, hishtadlus is simply a way of bringing the reality which Hashem has decreed for him into existence. Why does Hashem want people to work for a living? Either to test their loyalty to him or to keep them occupied so that they don't actually sin. Well, and it might follow that a complete righteous person should receive status without working, and wicked people should have to work. The hardest, there are reasons we can't always understand, maybe some we can, why that isn't the case. And then finally, since Hashem provides their income in any event, one should choose an occupation that is suited to you, to your own characteristics, and do not feel bad even if there is a setback, because Hashem has infinite ways of providing for you, and you should work with the attitude that you're doing a mitzvah, and if you do it that way, that will not diminish from your bitachon in Hashem at all. Okay, tomorrow we'll start chapter 4. Everyone have a great rest of the day.